In Central America, $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real.
Oh.
There's one of the guys goes,
yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
That's all he says. Jesus Christ.
Is it like Mr. Garrison's slave?
Yeah.
Sex slave or something? Yeah.
It's Mr. Slave, I think.
Mr. Slave.
It's Mr. Slave. Jesus
I love
Christ.
those characters.
I know. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Not Well. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jim.
I know you've missed us. We are so happy to be back long. To all the days, and
mostly the days.
That's the days.
Now, did you release a Chicago episode?
I didn't because I'm just lazy.
So you're lazy.
We were just talking about being lazy, and by the it's winter, it's dark. I'm not coming up here to edit.
I can't.
I'm going to edit as least as possible.
I can't get off the couch after I get home from work.
It's bad.
In the gym, I'm like, well, it's 5:30, but guess what? I'm planted till 10 o'clock, and then I'm going up to bed.
Then I'm going to be barely able to get my ass up.
I know. I'm like, I have to go brush my teeth.
Oh, fuck. I know.
That's the worst part. Is like,
try to
there's
add
so many times I'm like, I'm so tired. Oh, yeah, you have to do the water thing.
I go, oh, fuck, I got to brush my teeth, and I got to clean off my little retainer thing, and put that in.
Oh, yeah, I have to have a mouth guard.
And then I put my mouth guard in, and then I'm like, okay, now I need my earplugs in, put my earplugs in, then I grab the fucking water, change the water, because I don't, so here's the thing, if I do the water first, my hands will be a little bit wet, and then it makes the earplug kind of like swell up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I have a whole process. It's
like I have to take my melatonin 2 hours before I'm trying to fall asleep. Then I take trazodone and magnesium an hour before I try to fall asleep. Then I do all that, and I have my earplugs too that I put in on top of my mouth guard, and it's just a mess. Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's like, why do I have to go through all this pain?
I'm sick of that. I don't want to do it. I just want to, if I'm tired, I want to get in the bed and I go to sleep. Like, remember, that's what we did as kids?
I know.
Remember when we were younger, how fun it was? Now you're older and it's like, I could die tonight. I have to look good. Let me get my affairs in order because I could just wake up dead.
I am screaming.
And then my partner's like looking over like, okay.
Right, like you look like shit
like
and you're dead.
Pulling the drawer
like,
open
how
and finding.
Can you imagine?
I don't want to die in the middle of the night.
Don't look ugly.
When I'm young. When I'm old, fine.
Yeah, because everybody looks like shit when they're old.
Right. It's like, but like, if you find me and I'm just like, you better cold and blue.
Just being lazy, right?
My nail chipped on the trip. I was pissed.
That's embarrassing mid-trip. Now, is that like Spanish colors?
This is the Barcelona flag, yes.
So are you going to do like...
But I found out it's a separatist flag, which I kind of like, but...
I feel like going to Amsterdam, you need like black.
I do. I was thinking that.
Like something black, but like not
and
all
a nice
black, but like
springy
a nice
pastel
little...
for Ireland. Like a pastel green.
Oh, yeah.
Or just a mint green.
Brat green.
Oh, I could do brat again.
I could do brat again.
Let's do brat.
We should.
That's a good idea.
Where the fuck you at? Okay, so anyway, we are back.
I just like paused. I was like, yeah, I'm like imagining it.
Well,
but yeah, Amsterdam is like a black silver, I feel. Yeah, it's got to be like fucking.
Black silver.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Almost like a night.
A little grungy.
Like a dark night.
With maybe a...
Like K-N-I-G.
Orange is their color thing, so I'm kind of like, you can't do much with orange.
Is that the Netherlands?
Without it looking like Halloween. You can't do like black and orange. Like,
no.
Yeah, Netherlands is orange. All of the Netherlands.
I always forget.
Nederlandia.
Netherlands?
Oh, yeah, no. Holland. When people say Dutch, I'm like, is that from the Netherlands?
I have no clue. I have no fucking clue.
But then the Danes is what confused me because Denmark is Danes and Netherlands is Dutch. Which I don't even know where that comes from.
Some house of like some bullshit from 1400.
Because it's like Flanders and Holland were the old things. I don't even know. I think Flanders is still around in like I don't even know.
It's all made up. It's all just like a
Europe is
lineage.
a mess, and that's what I figured out. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that about my trip.
Meanwhile, I'm like ready to move to Ireland and not come back.
No, I love it.
Because we are entering, I don't know.
We are entering the final countdown.
Yeah, like World War III is about to start. We had our...
It does feel that way.
There was a really funny, I really want to find it. I know you're ready to get going, but I need to find this clip of somebody made the Trump's, like when he was yelling at Zelensky into a kid voice.
And you're not afraid that they had to use our military equipment. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks. In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is some maybe less in 2 weeks. Of course, yes. It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
And it is.
I love it. It is like that. You're like, wait.
It is. It's scary.
That's why he was like, no, you don't know. It's like, what?
No, you don't. You're not going to tell us how we're going to feel.
It made me think of my childhood.
Right. It's just like an idiot.
Like I'm just sitting there
an
like
idiot narcissist.
I'm like, well, yeah. It's like my life. Like literally, it's
you're
my
listening
boss.
like, here we fucking go.
I'm like, well, I've been through this before. I know how to fight this. Like, you're supposed to disagree with them because they're stupid.
You just go like, yeah,
you're right,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
And then you never talk to them again. Let's just listen to
Have you
this.
said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition. in October.
aka the
Offer some
administration,
words of
the presidential
appreciation for the
administration.
United States of
They didn't
America
campaign for
and the
them.
president
I know.
who's trying to
He's meeting with the
save
people
your
giving him
country.
Money.
Right.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in
He hasn't
big
said a
trouble.
word.
It's
I
like
know.
you're not letting him
winning.
talk.
You're not winning this.
I
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you through
I
this
said
stupid
thank you.
president $350 billion.
Stupid president.
You
Right. And they
voted
didn't
for
give
your
350
military
billion, by the way.
equipment.
You
And
voted
you
for
men
your
are brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
if you didn't
You
have our
Touching
military
him.
equipment,
Yeah, he's
You
creepy.
invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over.
So is that what you want, Trump? You wanted Putin to win. Yeah, we get it now.
So anyway,
That's the problem for me is that it's so clear now that this is all just
well, and
about
it's funny how Hillary in
sucking
2016
Putin's balls.
was like,
He's a
talking
Russian
about it.
agent.
It's
Everyone's been saying it, and they were like, that Steele dossier was inaccurate, and blah. Putin must have the piss tape. Putin, Putin has the piss tape.
Putin has the piss
Putin has the piss tape.
Oh my god, that's the name of that.
That is the only way he is acting like this. Like he doesn't care about
But
anyone.
also,
So why does he care about
girl,
Putin so
why
much?
do you care about being pissed on though either? Like why are
I
you so afraid?
know.
There's
Like,
gotta
just
be more.
release the
There's gotta be
video.
more. There's money. It's
There
something.
could be more.
It's just
Well, first of all, the Epstein flight logs get released, and whose name is on it? How many times?
Right.
Trump. Even like he brought like Tiffany on the plane.
fucking
like she's probably
would
been
bring
trafficked.
Tiffany,
Well, she's the
yeah.
one. Yeah,
Everybody hates
He's like,
Tiffany
get rid of
Trump.
her.
She's
He's
like
like,
the-
I'm gonna take her to Epstein's island. We'll see if she survives. Like, literally.
He's like, I don't know where she went. It's like,
Oh, that's weird. Tiffany stayed behind.
I mean, first of all, you named her
Tiffany.
Like, no offense if there are Tiffany listeners, but like Tiffany Trump just sounds really.
Oh,
cunty.
yeah, it's the two.
It's the T. It's the Tiffany
Yeah.
Trump.
That's what I don't like.
But then, like, you don't really back it up with the way you look. So that's where I'm
she
kind of like,
looks like a Tiffany.
you look like a Tiffany, but yeah, actually,
a little,
you kind of
a little chipmunky.
you kind of look like a Trump. So actually,
Yeah,
it
it's
kind of
like,
fits.
well-
why don't you go visit your younger brother Baron, who looks like a fucking goddamn
Big Bird.
guy? Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy
I
doing?
can't. Every time I see him walking, I'm like, is it like what's that? Slender Man?
like, doop,
I mean,
doop.
the arms are just going. And I know we're not allowed to make fun of looks or sounds because RFK. Like I can't even.
I don't give a fuck.
It's like this.
I don't give a fuck.
administration.
Oh, we wanted
is-
jokes again. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Like I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, I can't do it. They're like,
Jokes
don't
never-
make fun of him. It's like, why
It's like,
not?
wait, you're
why
calling me
not?
a faggot. You straight up called me a faggot and said I was
Yeah.
a pussy boy, and now I go what? And now I'm in trouble. Like,
Right.
no.
I know.
It's
and
all dumb.
Measles. He's acting like measles. He's like, this is normal for it. No, it's not normal.
It's the normal thing. We got it. Sorry, I
It's
have
like
a
someone
cold. I'm like,
died.
I can't tell if you have
someone
a cold or
died.
not.
He's like, yeah, measles kills some people. It's like, what? But
I just wanna
what if they didn't have to
say-
die?
Regardless of that situation, if you witnessed that little speech in the White House by our two leaders and you thought that was okay, I need you to really look deep because I feel like it's just not the way we should represent ourselves. However, I did start a new book. Actually, I'm going to read it. I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to tell you what it's called. I can't remember. The People's
History of the United States.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Howard
pretty-
Zinn.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you read it?
Parts of it, excerpts, because it's like
Pretty intense.
in the past I was like, I can't read this whole thing right
Well,
now.
that's why I have it in my ear. Like I'm
I need to
driving.
do that,
It's
'cause
really
I
kinda
remember-
horrifying, though. They're
It's-
like they slaughtered
yeah.
their dicks. They would cut off dicks, slaves' dicks.
Yeah.
The way that this country started, though, it's like I get appalled. I'm like, oh my god, this is not what we represent. It is.
It is. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
It is.
Trump doing that is how we
This is
bullied.
how we did
We've
it.
always been the bully,
We're always a bully.
and by
We're
bully
nasty.
I mean genocider, killer, murderer.
Genocide. That's the big word.
I
We
mean,
we
the
killed
New
off the Native Americans. We brought blacks over here and then told them. I love how we're like, go back to Africa.
It's like what?
We brought them here, you dumb
Yeah.
bitch. Like, don't
We stole
them
their
from their
wealth.
fucking-
We stole the land.
their culture. That's why they said so in this book. It really explains how like a lot of black culture is lost because families got split up and
Yes,
they don't
that's
know where
true.
they're really from.
No, you don't know which area of West
Right.
Africa, or was it further in? Yeah.
Thank God for Ancestry.com. We're not sponsored
Oh no.
unless they want me to. Unless I want to be sponsored.
I'm just wondering like how we would do a commercial about them. Like, don't you want to know your past?
Don't you want to find out who your daddy was?
Who's your daddy?
Well, actually, it's
on
kind of
Ancestry.com. You can find out who your daddy is.
I was like, oh no, is he like a revolutionist? Like, is he one of these people that committed genocide? That's what
probably.
Actually, I was looking at my past, and I have in my past from Wales, I think. Or
we've got to stop making out so often if we're brothers.
We're brothers.
Cousins or brothers.
Or cousin brothers. That's fine.
Wales.
We'll just hang out naked in saunas together.
Literally.
That's what brothers do. In Europe.
We need to do a side note right now because you just...
Yeah, I unlocked something. Have you seen your brother's penis?
No.
Never?
White Lotus season 3.
Oh. Sorry, I think it's hot. Sorry.
I had a semi.
First of all,
I had a semi.
Oh, first of
He's
all.
like talking about jerking off. He's like going into the bathroom
Actually,
and you
can I
see his
say
ass.
something?
And then I don't know if that was his dick, but I barely saw any of it, but it looked thick.
Oh my God, I got
That.
It's good. It's
and
good.
then he's standing there and looks back and sees his brother in the mirror because he wants him to see or something.
Yes.
I'm literally.
I need to play this, though.
Literally.
Because I want to play the scene if you don't watch the show. Brothers. I want to try to find the scene of what he says because I want to tell you this is what happens at every straight sleepover.
Oh, yeah.
And it gave me the feeling, to be honest with you. It's like every straight sleepover is like this. Yeah, let's just talk about it.
And talk
basically
about
what it was basically it's like if you were a boy in high school, like middle school, and you were exploring
eighth grade. I went to a couple sleepovers at this one guy's house.
Do you
I
care
saw
if I
Dick.
jack off?
I saw Dick.
Yeah.
there.
Oh, you're like, oh, do you want to jack off? Or it's like, it starts out with saying like, I'm just so horny. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like jerk off.
Right.
And then the other person who's not the victim, but the one that's like, oh, what? And then it just to me gave me very much like 8th grade. I'm so freaked out. I don't want anybody to know I'm gay vibes.
Right.
But everybody else is jacking off
But,
with
like,
each other.
yeah, you're
and
like-
I'm not though because I'm still freaked out.
You probably couldn't even get hard if you were scared.
Yeah. No, I would have been like, I'm not.
I would have been.
Gay.
I would have been like, I can't get hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm like that. Not
Now.
now, but I get nervous. I get nervous still, like hooking up. It's really weird.
yeah, of course.
Why?
What I figured out.
We both have the same little.
What I figured out is I just
do it.
tell the person if I'm nervous.
No,
I'm not even kidding.
no. You say, "Oh my god, sorry, I'm really nervous," and they're like,
the one.
"It's
And the
fine."
most recent time I did that, I think he was like, "Oh yeah, me too," a little bit.
Everybody's kind of freaked.
So I
the
was like,
fuck out.
"Oh okay,"
I think unless
and
you're
then
like,
it was like fucking fine. Like right after that,
it's just weird because you're exploring somebody's kissing styles, their sucking styles.
you're
their
about to
dick.
lick their asshole.
Yeah, you're like smelling them in different
It's
ways.
gonna be weird.
Things are weird. Things change after that moment.
Sex is
so
weird.
You've got to kind of like be
It's
prepared.
only fun for a little while too, and then it gets weirder and weirder feeling.
And then you're like, but also, I mean, I have.
What else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna put this out in the open for Ireland, just because I feel like you've been having dreams. I've been having dreams.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe we meet brothers that are like so fucking hot. and
Rugby
they're
players,
rugby brothers who are closeted, but they like fall in love with us. We stay in Dublin. We party with them a couple days.
We skip the Cliffs of Moher.
They take us
Fuck
places.
it.
They
We
go
can
with
get a
us.
refund,
They
like-
take us to
or
the
they
some
take-
more.
Oh,
They.
we got to manifest.
I'm
Okay.
manifesting.
Yeah.
And they are
Yep.
so hot. And the one brother that I have is probably circumcised.
I
putting
feel
it
like
in the
I feel like I'm getting the slightly more slender, taller.
I'm getting a little.
You're getting a little
beefier,
built,
a little beefier,
but like built, like rugby.
yeah, rugby.
I'm
legs.
getting like the more runner, taller, but he's like kind of thin, so he can really run.
almost like White Lotus. Like I'm getting the brother.
Oh yeah, you're getting the twink,
You're getting the twink, sweetheart. I'm getting the one.
the beefy one, and jerking off.
You just said I was going to get the beefier Irish
no, I
guy.
said no. You're getting that short. I'm thinking short, muscled guy. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
I'm
actually,
getting the
like-
tall, thinner one.
I mean, here's the thing. I got a boner at my fucking spa date with the
Oh wait, where was that?
at the Now. So we went to the Now in Chicago.
Yes.
You did, and it was kind of cool. It was
That
like whatever.
guy, but your guy was hot.
No, my guy was not hot this time, but he was cute in a weird way. But he was so skinny. But
This
I'm telling
time?
you, yeah, when I went this past weekend.
Oh, okay. I was like, bitch. When
so
you
I
were
went
with
again.
me,
I had to have a massage, and I got a hard on.
up at Dublin area.
Up at Dublin, yeah. Up at Dublin, Ohio, not Ireland.
Sorry, up at Dublin.
Up in Dublin, you did?
Dublin.
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 Oh no. Yeah, and so I started getting a little boner though when he was rubbing me, and then I kept saying to myself inside my head, I was like, "Can you just please keep going up?" And he wasn't that cute. I mean, he was kind of cute, but he was just really
A
skinny.
hand job is a hand job.
Just
a
really
hand is a
skinny.
hand, right?
Oh, he kicked my motherfucking ass though. Like I was sore for like 3 days after. Like I could feel him like.
Wait, did you see episode 2 of White Lotus?
Yes.
So that's when he talks about the massage wasn't great, and he's
Correct.
like,
And you
and
saw
his
his
mom
boner?
is.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, oh no, they can see maybe.
They can probably see.
Yeah.
Well, I got a Thai massage in Spain, which we will talk about, but I only had a sheet on me, and I was like it's weird because it's like I wasn't hard. I didn't get hard at all because it was so painful. But
oh, really?
Not painful, but like, it was intense.
A
like,
good pain.
She was walking on my back and using different areas of her body. I was like, what is she doing?
I don't want them touching me
She
like
climbed
that.
on me. She climbed me.
She climbed on me.
So I was like, not gonna get erect, but I only had one thin sheet on me. I think I was like, you can probably see my dick through the sheet.
At the gay place,
like actually
at the
see
gay
skin.
campground, I was butt naked.
Oh yeah.
getting
Oh wait, so
massaged.
was I.
Right.
Forgot about that.
And you just, but here's the thing.
But there you can get hard. And
I
you
was
will,
looking
but-
for that in New York, and I actually looked for it here. Like, I want a nude massage with somebody who is nude, but not necessarily like sexual, but like more like a bonding situation.
Someone who does that.
Really? Oh, all of a
On
sudden-
is it Twitter or Instagram?
I don't
follow?
want-
I know you don't want the popular ones.
No, I want one that's like a guy next door who's never done it before.
Do you hear yourself?
This is my first
I'm like
time getting
offering
naked.
you a fully nude massage opportunity.
I'm
and
telling
you're
you,
like,
I'm weird.
No, I want that little.
I want the one that never
I want that
done it.
18-year-old who's
Not
staying at his
18,
parents for college.
24.
Oh,
24 to 30. Just got his first big boy job. He thinks he's all big boy.
okay.
But I'll
But
show him who's
needs
the
a
big
little
boy.
extra money on the side, or why would he do this?
Because he wants to fuck me.
Oh, but I thought he was
That's right.
straight.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. This fantasy's really going up.
It's falling apart.
It's falling apart. It's over.
We need to focus
Why
on
it's
the ones
fantasy?
that are presented to us in a perfect package, like White Lotus.
Right.
That's a fantasy.
This is why I love. This is what reminds me. It reminds me when we went to Mexico. Like, you see people on vacation,
That you're
and
like-
you're like, it's weird. You
in
get,
real
like-
life, I would never have this.
but you're like kind of horny at the hotel, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, I would probably suck.
You're ready to risk it all
You
on
are.
vacation.
You are. I would love to research this.
Think about Ireland.
We're gonna be ready to risk it all.
Everything.
I'm ready to get fucked by like 5 Irish guys at once.
I just want to hear what
that
they...
weird?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Or what do they say? Fuck? Fuck?
Fuck.
I haven't really watched Irish porn.
Let's see here. They're probably like, oh fuck, mate,
oh.
mate,
Yeah, you're right.
bloke, bro,
I just-
bloke. Oh bloody hell! You
Maybe
have
they
a
just
great
stop
ass.
buying like a sheep. Like, bah, bah,
Oh, what if they like have a weird thing that we don't know about yet? Like they're like, oh good, and you're like, oh no, it's like a goat.
Can they use the phrase, there's a snake in my trousers? Because St. Patrick drove all the snakes from Ireland. So do they have snakes?
Yeah, I would
Are
be
there
like,
snakes in Ireland?
I hope not.
Let's look it up.
Put it on our question board.
What's the biggest predator in Ireland? Because I don't
Biggest
think they
predator.
have wolves. I don't think they have anything.
And what's the
Do
what's
they
the deal
have
with the snakes?
Mountain lions?
We want to research the snakes.
Let me get the notes out.
Get the notes out.
Just a fucking minute.
Pause. What's the biggest predator?
Okay.
And is the
Leanne,
snake
snakes.
story? What's the snake
Yeah, what's up
story?
with the
Like,
snake
even though we
story?
can
Okay.
look it up, I want to like
No,
hear
we
it
don't
from
want to
their
look it up.
mouth.
I don't want to look it up.
I want to hear it from an Irish person's mouth what it is and what they think about it. Really, do they even give a fuck about St. Patrick?
Yeah.
And my confirmation name is Patrick, so this is like all coming together. It is. I feel like I'm supposed to be there.
I didn't realize that.
I have a weird feeling that I'm gonna like not leave.
Because you got arrested?
No, because
You're
I
in
got a
jail.
job.
Sucking dick is a
No,
job.
they have project manager jobs for fire protection.
Don't start with me.
Because I don't know.
Because we're going to have to...
Again, this country scares me.
Wait.
It scares me.
What?
This country.
Well, yeah.
My country. United States.
My
of America.
country.
My country, 'tis of thee,
sweet land of liberty and genocide.
Land where my father killed.
Yeah, I mean, if
Like,
you look back, it's like, well,
let me tell you,
I mean,
it's not pretty, and it's not. I love how they
I
tell
think
us
it was
like,
in the 90s when they closed the last Indian reservation school where they basically stole children and re-educated them and prevented them from speaking their language or seeing their families until they were grown up. And they're like teenagers. And then they let them go back to the village and suddenly the Indian culture is gone.
But we pretend that it's not gone.
Or they
We're
die
like,
and they hide the death.
we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving.
It's not gone. Right.
Thanksgiving.
There's literally natives
Thanksgivings
still
where we
alive
lied
now.
to them and said, "Yeah, give us your food." Then we killed them.
Killed them.
Or we used them as slaves and they would die. They were mining for
smallpox
gold.
blankets. That's all I
Yep.
have to say.
It's
Like
terrible.
the fact that they did that when you're like, oh, this is like we're gonna kill them.
It's bad.
They thought of all the fun ways they could kill them, and they loved it.
I mean, they like killed 100, like a million Indians. Like,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
called
at
them Indians.
least.
And I realized what they called Indians though.
Because they were so dumb, they didn't know where in the world they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
thought
the
they were
part
in
where
India.
I'm
I'm like, oh,
fucking idiots. Like that's who wrote the Constitution. People like that.
right. I mean, that's where
They
it's
don't
like,
even have a good map of the world because they don't have.
They've never
they don't
explored.
have maps.
They don't
and
have maps and
such.
such. So then all of a sudden we're gonna listen to what they have to say today.
I know. They're like, what would the founding fathers think?
It's like,
people asked
What
or
would
brought
they?
that up in like high school civics. I remember like what would the founding fathers think of all this? And
I
we had
think
to like
there's one
think
that
through
would-
it.
I
I'm
think
like, I
there's-
don't want to think through that.
I actually
don't
want to
care.
say, I think that there were some progressives though in that. Like I think Thomas Jefferson, even though he was like a slave owner,
Right.
I feel like
that's the
that was
problem.
normal, but it's not. It's hard for me to like
It's hard to put yourself in that time.
And what racism really is like years of families having slaves and like making them the enemy because we needed them to work so we could make more money. That's the only reason we had slaves, because we couldn't keep up because we're lazy. And look what's happening today. Like it's the same thing.
That's the only way this country built its economy.
So then we've been using Mexicans now who are illegal. Now we're going to kick them out.
Now
Well,
we
what's
have
next?
cheap
'Cause
labor from prisoners.
Which the prison system.
Why is it a for-profit system?
It shouldn't be. Oh, well,
Maybe
let's make it
because they're
private.
making money off the prisoners, so they make
So
up
they need
laws
to
to get
put-
prisoners, and then their friends can build another prison because it looks like we need another prison. But yeah,
Anyway, that's your America moment this week. I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, we got to get out of here though.
Like, I'm
so
done.
you got to look into getting a job there.
Well,
if-
and the visa
then you
thing.
Well, once
Well,
you get a job, you get an automatic work visa.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
think.
also, I mean, I got to see, I think I'm one generation off in Ireland.
I think I'm too, because I think my great grandparent.
Wait, are you from Ireland?
I think my great grandma was.
I'll look it up because
I need to figure it the fuck out.
Okay, so I have Ancestry.
Okay.
And I put Michael as my partner, and then I can search his whole line. So I'm going to search your line.
Please.
You want me to?
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Or maybe I'll start a new tree of yours. I can just do anybody. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Okay. Oh my
Okay.
God, what if they're from like the same? What if we have like? What if our fucking families were like? What if we're really cousins like 8 times removed? Well, I guess we're all cousins 8 times removed at some point.
The thing I don't
If it was
understand
Adam and
is
Eve.
like when people say once removed.
So
When they're like, I'm a second cousin once removed. I'm like, removed from what?
removed from
Removed from the ground?
no, it's like you're removed from my. So my second cousins would be my dad's cousins, and then their kid is my second cousin once removed.
Okay.
Then their kids is my third cousin. I don't
Or
know.
your second cousin
I might be
twice
making this up.
removed.
Yeah, I might be making this up. But
Right.
it doesn't make sense either way. But when you do look at it and you go start,
And then in
climbing-
other languages, I'm sure they have like a word for that specific person.
but it's really wild when you look at a tree and you're like, oh,
Oh.
And it's kind of sad that I look at the tree and I'm the end.
You're the end of your tree.
I know.
Branch. Just your branch.
Right.
There's so many others that
There are so many others, but it's like,
Yeah.
there's certain people that change the whole lives of everybody. Like it's weird how one person who decides to marry this person and have 9 kids
Right.
changes the whole entire.
Well, it is weird to think back on my grandparents because they're still alive, and I'm like, look what they did.
You need to see if they have like
Like, look what they did.
right.
It's crazy now. They have like 50. No, they have 66 people under them that they made essentially.
Yeah.
That's just
Right.
grandchildren
Right.
and great grandchildren. Then there's like 9 great grandchildren.
So when you look at like say somebody's grandkids, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this guy's a genius. Let's see who's. I mean, like it goes to them, but then you look at their trees and it spreads out. So it's like
yeah,
so
you're just part of it.
it's everybody's a part of the same fucking tree.
And the whole world, actually. That's what's
Right.
weird. Is like when
Well,
it
and
was
if you're
just
a Christian, you think
hot
that Adam-
boiling water and
If you're a Christian, you think Adam and Eve are the first
which
people,
is so
which
sad.
would
It's so much more
mean
sad. Which
that
is
we're
not.
all incest. But it's okay.
Right. That's the
Like,
thing.
literally.
It's like, so let's trace that
So they
back.
fucked.
So someone fucked.
Then they had to fuck their brother and sister. So then they had to fuck their brother and sister, and they had to fuck their friend's sister, brother, and then
It's
it just
like-
started spreading. But if
this-
you're Christian, this is what we believe.
yeah, but I think it's
And then
much cooler the reality.
But then Noah, then he like wiped out the world except for Noah and his sons and wives, and then they had to do it again. It's just really creepy.
Yeah, so they were also incest.
Right, so
double
everybody's-
incest once removed.
Oh, I did find out that we ate dead bodies in the United
Yum.
States in 16, like some winter of 1640 or something. Because
That was
we couldn't-
regular.
Well, it was our first winter here, and they couldn't grow crops because they're idiots.
Right.
And so,
Why do you think they had to leave
well,
England?
that's why they got the.
They're fucking idiots.
Well, that's why they got the Indians, the Native Americans. They were like, oh, we're gonna be your friend now.
Yeah.
We need to
Teach
that's
us.
Thanksgiving because they knew how to grow corn and store it and and then teach us and then we murder you. Okay.
Yeah, because they'd never grown corn before. Corn is from you know, America.
And then we're like, let's grow tobacco. And then that's the other thing, tobacco. I love it.
Yeah,
the thing that's killing us
tobacco.
all, and everybody's addicted.
Look what they
That's why
started. That's
what we started here.
That's why.
That's how we made money. That's why we needed slaves so we could keep selling more and more tobacco. Period. And yeah, you just got back from Spain.
You're like, we're skipping it.
No, you can't. No, I want you to talk about Spain.
I'll just talk about, I'll just do a quick one and
So
then
you went to Spain.
And then, because I have mostly rants.
That's what I like. That's what I'm waiting for is the rants. Like,
okay.
No, but like,
so
no, I want to hear about Spain.
We went to Spain for like 12 days. So it was a
You're
long
gone
time.
forever.
And it started to feel like that. You know what I mean? It starts to feel like,
okay.
Not in a bad way, but you're just like, wow, like I really don't remember
Like
what
who
it's
I
like.
am.
I don't remember going to the grocery store in the States. I don't remember going to the gym there or work at all.
Like, what's work?
I stopped worrying about work completely.
It's the best thing in the world, but it's also the
because
worst.
when you get more than 7 days, which is what you're kind of habituated to, you're used to like 7-day vacations always or 6-day.
So when you do an extra long
But when
one.
you get one that's this long, it's like, I really don't remember
what I was doing.
And you don't have any responsibilities on vacation. It's like picking the food out that you want to eat, but
You're like, oh, I woke up.
You're just going to go on a tour, and then you're going to sleep in a really comfortable bed, and then you're going to get a nice drink, and then you're going to go do this in the morning. It's like, it's easy. And all of it can be skipped, which Matt skipped several things.
Did he?
Yeah. I was like, are you tired?
I know that
you don't
you-
have to come. I went and made paella alone and had fun. I met the hottest
Well, that's the thing.
guy. So I'm making paella and I went alone, and Matt was too tired that day because of jet lag, because they're 6 hours ahead.
Right.
So you have to remember, like, it's really fucked up.
I'm scared about Ireland because I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm
it's
really
midnight
worried.
there, but it's 6 a.m. to your body.
Right.
Or no, sorry, the opposite
Other way,
way.
6 p.m.
Yeah, it's only 6 p.m.
Too bad
And so
I'll probably be able to sleep fine.
we did. The first day we got there, we slept like 14 hours in a row.
When you said that, I was like,
It was 14.
Sounds like heaven.
We didn't even wake up. 14 hours.
When did you go to
I
sleep?
woke up once to pee. He didn't wake up.
Those are my favorites when you're just so tired. You're just like,
But it worked for me because I fully switched that way. Because I was like, okay, now I'm
It's like,
on
do you
their time.
commit?
I woke up at like 9 a.m. the next day. I was like, time to go make paella. And I met this hot. Okay, you know when you meet a guy and you're not sure if he's gay or straight.
Sure.
But
Pretty
he's
much
like
every
so
guy.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially in Europe, it's fucked up in
Well, they all-
Spain.
oh, I feel like
can't
they all
tell
are
who-
kinda gay.
They're all gay. They're kissing each other on the cheeks.
Oh,
They're like
hey,
grabbing
mate.
as straight friends. They're like, hey.
yeah, they kiss each other and they're like grabbing each other's pussies. You're just like, oh.
I'm just like, I think they're all a little gay in Europe.
That's why we left.
So I'm looking at this guy across the way, and then I like would look away because I didn't want to see me staring. And then
eye
like
game.
one time I looked and he was looking at me, so I was like, oh, I think he's gay.
Yep.
But then he was talking about like how he came to Barcelona before and had a girlfriend,
Well, maybe he came with a girlfriend. Now
right?
he's-
But then he's like, so then I was like, well, that could be in the past. But then like later in the meal after we were eating paella and I sat next to him and he's exactly like me. Maybe that's why I liked him. We talked
Wow.
about food in terms of food.
Weird. I always attract narcissists.
Yeah, well, maybe because you're a narcissist. You got it from your dad. No, so we were talking about food, and he's listing Michelin restaurants he's been to and like specific dishes. Like he can remember details. He's like, he cooked paella for him and his friends during the COVID. Like that's what he taught himself to cook it. And so that was his big thing. And so he wanted to do this class to see if he's
Okay, so he was a visitor too.
Yeah, he's living there for a month. He works like in coding, I think, for the
But he
government.
was not like working for the paella company. He was
No,
there.
yeah,
doing
he was
it.
a visitor
Okay,
doing an
perfect,
Airbnb tour.
Perfect.
Where we make, yeah. And so I'm just like, I get there and he's the only one there. I'm like, shake his hand and I'm like, looking
Hey,
at him. He's
how's it going?
fit, like he's got muscle, but he's like,
There's something about.
and then he says he is seeing a girl now and he brought her to Barcelona like last week and they had fun. And I'm like,
Well, that always sucks because you're like, well, womp womp.
but then afterwards he like said
we should.
he wanted me to like hang out.
Did you tell him you were gay at this point, or did you think he guessed?
He'd know from the beginning,
Well,
but
I
also
mean-
I talked about how my husband wasn't there because he was supposed to be there, but Matt was tired. So I was like, oh, my husband's not here.
My husband's back at the hotel,
And he's like, seems fine with it. And he's telling me about, and he does like, he uses, you know, I think he does mushrooms like to expand his mind.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, but he's so smart, obviously, because he's telling me everything about food that I'm obsessed with.
Sure.
Okay.
You find
So
your-
then I was like, he wanted to walk me back to my hotel. And I'm like,
I would have been instant boner. Like, oh no,
I was
I've been so
panicked. I
nervous.
was like, well, Matt's asleep. So I'm like thinking, I'm like, maybe we don't go back to my hotel. And I was like, well, where do you live? And so
Stop it.
I'm not actually a fan.
No, I am a fan. I just got the feeling. Though.
I had the feeling for so long, and he told me where he lived, and I knew.
Vibe.
And then I was like, but I've been gone for like 3 hours, and Matt's probably awake now.
Also,
and so now I need to make
I'd
sure
rather have you on my turf than your turf. That's
right.
my deal.
And so then I'm like, well, Matt. Thankfully, Matt texted in the middle of the walk, and I was like, okay, Matt's awake. I better go back and like hang out, talk to him because like he's been asleep all morning, and it's like 1:30, 2 p.m. And he just is like, but we had like a 45-minute walk back to my hotel and talked. And he's an anti-Zionist Jew who lives in Maine, by the way. We need to fucking visit.
By the way, I love Maine.
Because that's what I said. I was like, my friend went and they loved it. I want to go to Acadia. Like, I want to see Maine.
Maine is great.
Which is a weird thing to say, but
it's not.
But like after talking to him and he reminded me, I'm like, oh my God.
Once you go to Maine, you know Maine. And then you're like, oh, Maine's actually kind of cool.
So basically, I'm obsessed with this guy and I'm still regularly talking to him on Instagram.
So is he Spanish or is he?
He's American.
Okay.
He's full-blooded.
Like pink?
I think pink with a tan.
Oh no. That's hot. I love it. I love that for you.
I keep thinking about like when
you always meet somebody.
That was like the best day, like talking to him. But
yeah, and also the times with Matt.
Well, obviously, other than and Matt wasn't there. That's why it was
because
I thought,
I like spontaneous.
I like spontaneous. I like new.
That's why we like traveling together.
We like spontaneous new
because we're like we don't have to worry about our partners, and we can just be like spontaneous and new.
Yeah, because Matt wasn't there, so I didn't have to pay attention to him.
You don't feel bad.
So I wasn't like I'm ignoring Matt. I'm talking to this guy. I just got to fully engage with him and learn about him.
Full self.
And I was my full self. I was semi the whole time.
Oh my God.
Okay. This funny story happened to me. I was on the plane. You've probably done this, maybe.
Probably.
I had a few drinks with dinner because we were doing business on the way there. So we had like the meal.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want more wine? I had champagne. I think I had like 5 or 6 glasses of champagne.
Night.
It was time to go night.
I think I told you to go night at one point. I was like, go night.
Yes, you told me. It was good.
Go night.
I listened to my friend.
That's right. I was in New York like blacking and I was like,
yeah,
go
you were also fucked up, which we have to.
We have a lot.
I like get up to go to the bathroom because I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. I get up to the front and I'm like, why is the waiter talking to someone, another waiter, but I don't recognize him. I'm like, go up.
I love how you call them waiters.
Well, I mean, that's what they bring you food. It's like they're your fucking waiter, I think.
Where's my waiter? That's like,
is that offensive? All our flight attendants out there, is it offensive?
Yeah, call in 614-721-5336. Tell us.
It might be, but I don't know. You are kind of a waiter.
Sorry,
no offense.
You work on a fucking airplane or a restaurant in the sky.
A restaurant in the sky from my standpoint.
At this point. Unless it goes down, then you become a savior.
And then you become a hero.
Right. It's like you're either a hero or
you yell at me, which is what happened because I get up there and I was like, is there I was like, look, I like started pointing that way. I was like, is there because they're like standing here. I'm like, is there a bathroom back there?
Did they yell at you?
And the flight attendant literally looked at me like, just stared at. He's like, well, yeah, it's blocked off right now for the pilot. The flight attendant was talking to the pilot.
Oh,
who was just like, they were talking.
Did they have the cart there?
Yeah, they had the cart there. And I was so like fucked up. I was like, is there
so you know why they do that?
So no one can rush the cockpit. Yeah, which is great. It's great. Thank God.
But is that cart going to hold? And those flight attendants.
No. They got a bunch of gay boys on these planes. These waiters are not going to stop the next terrorist attack.
Actually,
stick a knife.
Actually, though, I will say that gay men are very resilient and they've been fighting their whole lives. So I actually wouldn't put it past them. They'd cut a bitch.
Girl.
They're not going to linebacker them.
Well, anyways, so I'm like, okay. Oh, right. I was like, oh, right. Sorry. And then he's like, yeah, and the fasten seatbelt light is on. He just threw that at me as I'm like walking back.
The captain's not in the
and I go,
cockpit.
right. And I was like, okay, oh yeah, sorry. And I had no idea it was on. And then I just kept walking past my seat to the next bathroom.
Sorry.
I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Right.
Keep in mind, it's been smooth for like 15, 20 minutes at this point. That's another thing. They leave that fucking light on.
Because they don't want to work.
For an hour.
They don't want to work.
Yeah, they want it to be like, everyone sit down.
The captain said we have to stay seated, even the flight attendant.
Please stay seated unless, and I'm like.
That's the worst thing to me.
It's been 5 hours and I have to pee. Like that was our flight home from Madrid. Literally, they had that thing on like half the flight. I was like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So I actually came up with something. This is a good topic.
Yeah.
Because I actually literally Googled yesterday fear of going to the bathroom in the airplane.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because I'm just afraid I'm going to fall over and like
which
stumble.
Is possible.
Some people are afraid they're going to get sucked out into. I'm not worried about that.
No, I'm not.
I'm more worried about like fitting and not like breaking something
like
and not falling on somebody.
In the fucking bathroom. I turn around. I'm like, where are the towels? And I'm trying to like bend. I'm like, where are the? And then you're like.
Yeah.
Where I
See.
Oh, they're just out. I was like, aren't the towels? I can't find anything in there.
It's gonna have
a
to
mess.
be-
There's either water or piss all over the ground.
Oh, Michael said
I don't
last time there
even
was
know.
shit on the toilet.
Oh God.
See, and I'm like,
No,
why are
no.
people so barbaric?
Who's pooping on a flight?
First of all, who's pooping on a flight? That's
There's
an hour.
people around you.
It's an hour. It's from New York to here.
Right. It's like,
That was
why
an
are you
hour.
pooping?
But we were on the tarmac for like an hour and a half before
Well-
we took off because of the fucking wind.
And maybe we're just the type of people who would not travel if we had diarrheal illnesses. I'm not saying like if you have a medical emergency, don't
Right.
poop on the plane.
But
Well,
don't
I
poo
guess
on the
some people have
plane.
IBS.
Well, then you shouldn't
But
fly.
don't. Yeah, I shouldn't.
Wear a diaper. Like, I don't know. Like, if it's that emergent,
Actually, the person in front of me had a diaper on.
I might wear a
on the way
diaper.
home. Yeah.
The thing is that my flight there, if I get first class, it's not like the bigger plane. Like
Girl, you
it's-
have your own bathroom.
I know, but here's the
fine.
thing though. The way it
So much
sits though,
room.
it's they're side by side like this.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
They're not like one. It's like they're all side by side. So like if
I need to see that.
Okay, I'll show you.
Yeah,
so
I
if
don't
have
believe
to,
it.
if I have to get up, I'm gonna have to be like, can you put your legs down so I can go to the restroom?
No, I don't think so. They divot them in a way that like
Okay, well, maybe
you
it
like
just looks
slide
that way.
you slide behind the person laying here to get to your seat here.
I mean,
I don't think so. Is it United?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't have that. They don't do that.
it's a smaller body plane though. It's not like the ones that you're probably used to.
Okay.
Because it's a late night flight, so I think there's like nobody on the flight either. It's kind of weird. It's kind of nice.
That's gonna be great.
I'm gonna be like,
That's the best. I would rather have your
I
time.
mean, she told me I was
I don't
number
want to
one
get
on the
there at
list.
7 a.m. What am I going to do from 7 a.m.?
well, that's what I was thinking.
My room won't be ready. I'll have to wander at a cafe. And so, like,
Yeah, that's gonna be rough for.
so that for a few hours, it's going to suck until they text us our room's ready.
I'll be like, I'm here. You're gonna be like,
And then I'm like,
cool.
nap time.
I'm kind of glad though that you're gonna be there first. So I can be like, what do I do?
Right. I'll be like, just take a taxi.
Oh, I love how it says no upcoming flights.
Coming home on this. Oh, no, because I'm on the next
you're,
day.
You're like leaving a day after me.
That's why I'm
What's
fucked
really gonna
up.
piss me off is that we are gonna meet these brothers, and you're gonna have one more day with Luke. Luke, is that his name? Patrick, Patty.
No, I like both the names. I
Sean.
was just like, I'll be so tired.
No, you won't. You'll be ready to go. I'll be gone. You'll be able to go.
I can sleep until 2 p.m.
You really can.
I'm
That
gonna
day
be-
that I leave, I'll be like on
I'm
a
gonna
plane
wake-
halfway to New York. You'll be like, I'm waking up. I'll be like,
I'll probably go to a spa and then go out.
actually, it'll be fun.
But like going out alone is hard in a
jealous.
new city. At least it's English speaking. But like, I honestly didn't want to go out. I had chances to go out alone because we stayed in the gay neighborhood, Chueca. And it's very gay. I sent you all the rainbow shit everywhere.
The guy.
The whole fucking.
Oh, God, yeah.
The
The subway.
whole subway. You're like, oh my God. It's like
So gay.
It's so gay. But one of my tour guides said the same thing is happening there, by the way, of straights moving in now.
Yeah, of course.
He's like, this was a bad neighborhood in the 90s and 2000s. It's been gentrified by the gays a little bit.
Not
spruced
fully
up.
spruced up.
But now, like, straight people are proud to say they're from there. Like,
Right.
I'm living in Chueca. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, well, this isn't really your neighborhood,
Right.
but okay.
But it is now.
What I was
not actually a
basically
fan.
saying was I do think it's hard to go out alone. So I don't know if I'm going to be like,
You by that time though,
I'll feel comfortable
Yeah,
there.
that'll be like
I'll know where to go,
right.
like the bars too.
I think
I'll
you'll be a
know.
little nervous when you get there.
But then I'll
early.
meet someone, hopefully.
Well, that's the thing. We're gonna have friends. We always have friends.
Having fun.
Listen, we always have friends. We always meet.
We do always
somebody.
have
It's
friends, so I can
stupid.
text someone and be like,
We'll meet
I'll
like the
blow
owner
you.
of some fucking bar that lives. We just always meet these people. I'm telling you, we're just special. Period.
Period. Now,
So what
I have
else
some
is
other
fame?
things I want to go over
What was
with
your
you.
bad things? You did say you
Yeah.
were like, well,
Okay, so this is what I wrote down. I said, I am so done with the things that I am reading online that Europeans think Americans are rude for. This one.
are you going Karen on this?
I'm going full
Okay.
Karen on fucking Europe. Listen,
United
Europe.
States Karen here.
I know Europe thinks they're perfect, and they're definitely better than here, but
well, let's discuss.
but we're going to talk about the things that you guys are culturally, some of this is bullshit. The biggest one that I read online, and I looked at like multiple sites, like on Reddit and other things, because I was like trying to figure out why do they hate us? Restaurants. They think Americans are rude when we don't want to stay in a restaurant after we're finished eating and ask for the check right away.
Really?
Yeah. Or that we don't take our hats off indoors, like when we go indoors.
Okay.
Like for dinner, like someone told me like, oh, we don't normally leave our hats on. Like, so I was telling Matt, like, take your hat off inside when you go inside to a restaurant. It's just like,
Well, what kind of restaurant are you going to? Because it's not
all
TGI
of them they do.
Fridays.
No, it's not that. They're nice. Some of them were nice, but
Yeah.
like even the ones that weren't nice,
even
where it
then,
was like
it's like,
15 euros for a
why?
dinner, you're like,
First of all,
take my hat off.
Why are you judging me for something that's over my head that's covering my head?
Right.
Why is that what gets me not in here?
I know. Well, let's go back to the first problem. And this is the thing that pissed me off because every dinner you cannot go out to eat
without 3 hours.
And without like 2 hours for lunch, 3 hours for dinner. It's insane. Like
can't.
you literally sit there and it's like, here comes just a glass of water. And then, nope, they don't stay to take the order. Okay. And then even when you're like, we're ready for the order, they're like, be right there. And then it's like, they're not there for 10 minutes. Then you order and it comes out one little thing at a time. You're like, I thought the salad was the side coming with the dish. Like, and everything is just the same in Spain. I would say like Spanish food.
I'm actually not a fan of Spanish food. Sorry, I said
no one is.
I don't like paella.
When's the last time anyone's been to a Spanish restaurant? We have Barcelona, one in the whole city of Columbus. Why do you think that is? That's what I want to say to Spain.
The cuisine.
Why do you think that is?
Like, first of all, if you're gonna get mad at Americans,
we don't want it. It's so bland. They have nothing spicy. I didn't have one bite of anything Spanish. Okay, it wasn't Spanish because it had kimchi in it, but I did have like patatas bravas are their thing there. It's like fried potatoes with like a mayonnaise sauce, I think, and tomato sauce.
Well,
it's fine. However, you have to add salt every time I ever had it. Like that's another thing.
That's the hate Americans
Nothing
for salt.
nothing was salted.
That is American thing though, kind of.
It is. It's our fault, but it tastes better. So
sorry.
And I'm like, it had kimchi instead of just a plain mayo, so that was spicy. But that's the only bite of spicy Spanish food I had the entire trip.
Interesting.
12 days.
You would think it'd be spicy.
12 days. They have the climate. It gets to 120 in the summer there.
But aren't
it's
they?
like miserable.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
This might sound because I'm also putting things together as far as my book that I'm reading. How Mexicans are really Spaniards that had relations with Native Americans, right?
Well, they're the mestizo, like the mixed.
Right.
Then there's still some indigenous people that didn't
like
really
Aztecs,
intertwine with Spanish.
Okay.
So there are still indigenous there.
Okay.
Like they call them Indian.
So they didn't speak Spanish, but
No.
they got taught Spanish by the Spaniards who invaded.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, the Spaniards and they invaded, right?
I don't know why. It's just like I've been like as I get older, I'm really retaining it. Like information more.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
In school, you're like, okay, great, DeSoto or whoever the fuck came here.
Oh,
and
I
did
know.
This.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
These explorers.
Well, and they also had
we had to memorize it.
Oh, I know.
We had to memorize all this.
It's so tailored though to like being good for America. So like you don't hear the real story. Tell me the real story.
It's like what they do when they got to that island.
Tell me the real story.
Oh, they literally.
Oh, okay.
Killed everyone.
Killed
like
kids?
Little kids running around. They would just whack them with their sword or shoot them. Like
and steal all
that's
their
what they
food.
did. It's really
it's terrible.
Thankfully though, like every tour in Spain, the tour guide acknowledged when they're showing us things. Like we saw Christopher Columbus's tour or tomb, on a tour.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
And the guy was like, I bring a lot of people here, and so I do want to acknowledge that most of what he did was really bad.
Yeah.
And that we are showing you this because it's history, because like the fact that I am there talking to him is only because Christopher Columbus came to America. Well, again,
and
then the Europeans came.
Though,
so it's like,
the book talks about Christopher Columbus and it says how he came here though, but he needed to bring home a shit ton of gold, and he didn't.
Ferdinand and Isabella sent him.
Right. And so he didn't really
and I saw
have
their
that
tombs
gold.
Too.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's really crazy, the history there.
But he had a lot of pressure. So I'm not saying that what he did was right, but he was trying to find a way to appease these people who were expecting him to bring back gold from Asia.
His
or whatever.
sponsors.
Yeah.
His sponsors.
So anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all been about extracting.
So it's like, I'm not saying he's not a bad person, but I'm also saying like he was pushed to limits because at that time, like he had to bring something back. I guess he didn't really have to. All he could do is say, I'm not coming back.
You could stay, yeah.
But you didn't have anything. You didn't know how to live on land. So
yeah.
But anyway,
you want to go back.
It's very
you probably want to go back.
It's very interesting to think that this is only like 300 years ago or something.
It's not that far back.
It's
1492, but
that's when that started. But I'm talking about
Oh yeah. Okay, so getting back to why I have another problem with that restaurant thing.
Okay.
They do just sit around. Like you have to ask for your check afterwards. Like they'll take your food away and they don't talk to you, and then that's that.
Like, hey.
They're like, did you want dessert? Okay. And then they walk away and you're like, can I get the check though? So the reason I think they don't want to go home is because they live in fucking apartments. Like literally all of our guys, I was like, do you live in the city? And if they did, they have like a 1-bedroom apartment. They're like, yeah, we have really small living spaces here.
I guess.
So maybe And I asked the one guide also, do you have friends over? And he was like, oh no, we never bring people to our house unless you're family.
Oh, interesting.
Or a friend that is so like you would come over to my house.
Right.
But no one else.
But not
would.
acquaintance or something.
No. Like, and not all your friends even have come to your house.
Interesting.
Because it's like a small space that's just
So
for
it's
you.
it's
you use
intimate.
the public setting for your gatherings.
So you're
like,
gonna get together
You
and
go to
watch-
dinner
yeah.
and spend 3 hours hanging out, and you just sit there and talk.
Then
after.
you go home and everybody goes
Then
home.
So I think that's why they say that. But here's some other really
Interesting.
stupid ones I was getting pissed about.
But can I say something though?
Yeah.
I do feel like Americans though, we're kind of taught like when you're done, you need to go because it's almost this is
The
like
tipping.
This is like
You're like, I
capitalism.
can't hold on to this table for that.
Right, because somebody else is going to have to come in here, and I don't want to like.
I don't want to
screw
take
them
away their
over.
tips. You want to turn a table, turn a
capitalism.
table,
So,
turn
yeah.
a table.
Yep.
The waiters there don't give a fuck.
Right. This
They
is
literally are
capitalism.
being paid. I went to this Michelin
probably
restaurant,
getting paid
Chinese
good.
restaurant, and this was in Madrid, and there were like 5 servers standing around at all times just waiting to do something. They're just ready. Nothing, and I didn't wait for anything. It was like as soon as I put my empty glass down, someone came over and asked.
So
as soon
nice.
as this, because they're being paid
But
a
they're
living
getting paid,
wage. They're not
right.
worried about tips, so they're not like they're not rushing people out.
It's not
You
like
could s-
prostitution
You
for
can just
them.
sit, yeah, I
You're
know.
basically a prostitute when you're.
$2.13 an hour, and then like hopefully you got good tips. That's all you get here, and you also don't get healthcare benefits when you do that.
Yeah.
Whereas they
Gotta
have
work
social,
full-time.
they have Social Security
Right.
being taken out of their paychecks, and they're like, yeah, we pay a lot. Like we'll acknowledge we pay a lot of taxes, but they don't
we
have
get
to
a
worry.
lot.
I asked my one guide's wife is pregnant, and I was like, how much is this going to cost you? He's like, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Okay, so here's the
I was
argument.
like,
Here's
it's
the
like
argument that-
$30,000.
So people will be like, well, you're not going to be able to get in for 6 weeks. I'm sitting there thinking like, have you
They
been
get
to
in.
American doctors though?
They said it's right.
I can't get a dermatologist for
You can't.
4 months.
It took
I
me
need to, like,
6 months to get into it was 8 months to get into the lipidologist to talk about cholesterol.
But it's like-
it took me 8 months.
People want to complain here. Like,
I was like, okay,
you're never going to see a doctor. I'm like,
you won't see a doctor
one.
here, and if you can't afford one here, you're not going to see one.
Right.
Whereas they can go because it's free, it's covered. And the only thing they wait for is like specialist outpatient stuff.
we already do
So
that
if you need it,
here.
and we do that too. We send
Right.
people. Oh, you want to go to my
They're
grandma?
like
had
somebody
to see
had a broken arm. They had to wait 2 days. I'm like,
my
that's
grandma
bullshit.
waited like 9 months for a neurologist. It takes so long.
I'm not actually a fan.
So that's some of the differences.
Yeah.
But
So now I
okay,
wanted to
so
say
that was
sorry.
another. I know you really got me knocked off guard.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just had to say it though because I feel like it's a big thing to acknowledge that Americans are.
They think we
psycho.
take too many photos. Yep. Or
see
that
that.
we look at our phones like we don't know where
Yeah.
we're going when we're walking around the city.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't fucking know.
We don't know.
Why is this a problem? I said, give me a break. They also said we're always smiling.
Oh,
Some of these people, I literally was like, I want to respond to this.
maybe I'm more.
And also the thing is when we're there, like we're friendlier than other people.
But think about that.
We're
though,
friendlier.
For a second.
Sorry, we're friendlier.
It's
we
weird,
actually
though, when you think
talk
about
to.
it.
They're like, that's small talk. I'm like, no, I'm actually interested. Like, how are you doing?
It's very interesting because I don't know what side of this I'm on because I think about it and I think about how we were raised and it's like
Yeah.
you are kind of
It's
taught to be
fake.
like you better say
How
good
are
morning.
you?
Yeah.
Good morning. Even if you're like in
So
crisis, even
imagine-
if you're like trying to cry, not to cry.
So
you have to be
imagine-
like, oh hi, yes sir.
So imagine you're okay. You know how we look at people from Chick-fil-A that goes, "My pleasure."
Yeah, and we're like,
It's like creepy.
it is a little cultish.
Okay, that's how they look at Americans.
Yes.
So because we're like, "Hi,
'Cause we're
how
like,
are you?"
Hi. Yeah,
Ew.
everyone says hi, and I like would
I'm
watch.
good.
I would watch them. They don't say hi, but like
They'll do a nod or like
they'll
a little-
push an elevator button and to get out of the way so you can push yours. You know, it's not like, oh, where are you going? That's like an invasion of privacy. Like,
Right.
let them just go to the floor they press. Like, you don't have to know.
I
it.
love that life. Sorry,
You are a little whore. You're gonna love. I think you're gonna love it. I don't know what Ireland's like though.
I don't know either. I think it's a little more rough around the edges. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
don't
road hard,
think
put
it's
up
like
wet.
it's not continental
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely more like road hard, put up wet, drink your beer,
and still raining.
and raining, and just fucking.
Okay, I think I can wrap up Spain because
Spain sounds very.
first of all, yeah, I said, can I get a green salad? They don't have lettuce. They don't have
Oh.
salads. They don't do salads.
Oh,
It's impossible. You have to like find a health nut store to like get
they're like,
salad.
you freak.
I found like a few restaurants. It was like, this is just, you can't find it. Matt got in trouble because you know how like a lot of
Oh,
these
no.
cities now and countries are kind of like annoyed with tourists.
Yeah.
They think over tourism.
Sure. Even though it's half their economy. Sure.
Right. We were trying to go to a train store and it like wasn't in the address it said it was, even though we knew we were at the right address. It was really fucked up. So he just like walked into another store next door though, and a girl's cleaning up, getting ready for the night. And he's like, do you know where this is? She looked at him and went, "Hola." Like, hello.
Like, what are you doing?
Because you just walked in and we're like, do you know? Like,
yeah.
And then I was like, ¿Dónde está? She was like, no English. I was like, you bitch. You fucking cunt. Because she knew, she was like, you fucking tourist. I hate you.
I mean.
So I like felt, I was like offended, but then I was like, Matt did just walk in and just shout in another language and hold his phone out. Because that's Matt.
I know.
But that's Matt. He didn't mean it. He didn't think it was bad. I had to explain to him why it was bad. I was like, what if someone came to you and started speaking like Mandarin, like Chinese,
yeah, like, and you're just,
they're like, you're like,
I'm like, no,
right? You would be like, hello, who are you?
I don't know though, because we're Americans. We'd be like, how can we help you?
I thought that was a funny moment though.
It is actually a really funny moment.
Like, why
honestly,
is she mad?
I was thinking about it here. Like when we see tourists, we're kind of like, we're like more interested in where they're from though. That's the sad part. Like, where are you from? It's like we're living in North Korea. I'm telling you, we're stuck.
I said if there are ruffles on a chip, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh, that.
I think like any potato chip, if there's ruffles, suddenly I'm like, I want that potato chip.
You like a ruffle.
I like
a. Now,
what?
I'm not necessarily not.
First of all, a ruffle, I guarantee holds more dip when you like. Well,
that's
more
what I was thinking. I'm
grooves.
thinking of like the situations. Yeah, I don't really like chips.
I know. Well, is that the sema?
Maybe.
I think it's the sema. You used to like chips, honey. We used to eat. Bitch, you used to like chips.
Oh my God.
Okay, because those kettle barbecue down there, they didn't last.
I like kettle cooked.
Those honey Dijon kettle cooked.
I do like kettle cooked.
They don't last.
They don't last. But also, that's my goal. I'll tell you right now, I'll buy a fucking thing of potato chips and they'll be gone. And he just like sits there and eats
I know.
them. I'm like,
I've watched him sit on the couch and just go like,
what are you doing? I know.
And his eyes are closed, and I'm like, oh,
I
he's
actually,
just
even when I was fat,
he's high eating.
Even when I was fatter,
you didn't.
I never snacked.
Fatter.
Well, let's keep it real. I still am fat.
I want to bring up a problem here.
Okay, are we still in Spain? Or are we moving on? Or
no, we're done with Spain.
Adios, Spain.
Adios, Spain. I don't need to talk about it.
Thank you.
I need straight men.
Okay.
If they can. And I'm not saying there's, this never happens, but please stop farting at the urinal. Because we're taking a hot situation and making it a little too familiar. Because I was thinking it was hot that you were standing there and I hear a strong stream and I know you have a thick one. And maybe I'm next to you and maybe you flashed it at me. But if you fart, suddenly I'm jolted out of this fantasy of mine and I'm like,
I'm not actually a fan.
I'm not actually a fan. It's like am I at home? Is that just Matt in bathroom? Or like who,
I think it's gross as fuck.
You shouldn't be pressing that hard that a fart comes out. If you have to press that hard, you have a prostate problem. You need to go see a urologist and get on a medicine.
Take some gas X too.
Like,
might help.
And but why are you bearing down that hard when you're standing there like, ugh?
I don't think that they are. I think that they're literally
also
on
farting,
purpose doing it.
Yeah, and that's what
and you'll see them like lift their leg.
And this is what I said.
It's like
I said, now spitting into the urinal I can get behind.
Well, you're spitting on my dick or my ass
because that's probably I said because where I grew up, spitting men were hotter and like didn't do dip or chew. So I like spitting if it's just your saliva or like a bug got in your mouth, but I don't want like if it's dip or chew spit, I don't want to see that.
See, I like dip. I guess maybe that's where I'm from.
And that's because that's why I said because of where I'm from. The South. Now,
some of that
I will say
that Copenhagen honey.
When I went to undergrad, the guys in the dorm that did dip were like
They're always the hot ones. They're always the hot ones. With pretty dicks and pretty bodies.
Because this was before Zen for all you young Gen Zers out there who don't understand. Like you had to. Oh no, you're old. Zen, you don't know what Zen is.
Is it the pouches?
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I didn't know it was called Zen though.
There's a whole culture around it, like the Zen daddies. Like there's these guys that promote it online. They're like influencers because of Zen, and they just like have pouches like.
And they just pop them in and
all these fit influencers like muscle guys do Zen in the gym and Zen. Well, so anyways, spitting is hot in certain circumstances.
So farting is not. And I agree
with you. And farting is not. Thank you. Now, do you have anything?
I don't know. Yes, I have a ton.
And if you don't, we do need sundries.
I do have a ton, but I'm going to go. Let me just look really quick. There was a funny story at the Eagle in New York City. I was walking around and I actually thought of you. This would be a funny thing. So we're in our little gear. We're like being sluts. Like I was in shorts with no underwear and then I had my whatever. This is a Sunday too, by the way. Sunday it was like packed.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It would be. I was just like, wait,
packed.
Sunday night or Sunday morning? Oh, wait,
like evening
into Monday is packed.
Yes,
I love New York.
I know. I'm like, I hate where I live.
It's like I would go out if it were guaranteed packed and fun.
Correct.
You're like, yeah, I'll go out on a Sunday. I'll go out on a Sunday. Fuck new people. Yeah.
Not so much here.
Oh.
But so there's this guy though. So like people were wearing their gear, and it was like a wrestling weekend there. So they had some like wrestlers.
Wow.
And stuff. But there was this guy walking around in like a neon like overcover thing.
I heard and
I know. I hear singing, but I don't know. It might be picking up on the mic more.
Right. Okay. So you heard this guy?
No, there's this guy walking around in like a maintenance outfit, and I was like thinking it was like his look. No, he was the maintenance man. And I was like, ew, this fucking creep keeps following me around. And then I look and he's like cleaning out the beer shit. I was like, this is legit. Then I was laughing so hard because I was thinking, oh my God, if he's straight. And all these guys were like, oh, look at that maintenance man. Because it's like, it was like a theme night kind of. I was laughing so
my God.
hard in my head.
That's amazing.
I said, Eagle, maintenance man, I mistaked for a creepy old gay, but poor him because he doesn't want the attention.
I love that.
We went to
I hope he was straight.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really hope he was.
Because he was like, not.
He was probably like, what the fuck?
But I thought he was like following me, and he was just walking back and forth. And then I realized he was carrying like buckets and shit. I was like, I can't. So anyway, that was just funny to me. I don't know why. I just thought of you too because I would have we were both standing there.
I would have been like, hey, Mr. Maintenance Man.
And he'd been like,
I got a leaky faucet.
I like your look. And he's like, I'm working.
Yeah, like I'm literally working. Get away from me.
We stood outside Alan Cummings' bar for the Traders. So we watched the Traders, me and Michael. We're obsessed with it. If you don't watch Traders, like it's on Peacock. It is so fucking good.
I'm dumping Peacock. The two gay owners.
Oh God, here we go. I know.
Maybe it's Paramount. Never mind.
It
Peacock
is Paramount.
Might be fine.
No, Peacock's fine. It's Paramount, but that's MTV.
So that's RuPaul.
Yeah. Was Ru gonna say something? We're gonna find out.
Ru won't say a damn thing.
So we stood. So we got there.
Okay.
At the show started at 9:30. It's a show when I say that it's on TV.
What show is it?
It's called The Traders, and Alan Cumming. Do you know Alan Cumming?
Yeah, I know. I've heard about this. Like it's popular enough. I've heard about it.
Yeah. So Alan Cumming is the host, and he's like really eccentric, whatever. But he has a bar in New York called Club Cumming.
That's why you told me.
So we went to this fucking club, and we go there at 9 o'clock, and it starts at 9:30. We're like, we'll go in, we'll have a couple drinks, and we're ready to watch it.
Perfect.
They put up a big screen, and they watch it. It's not a big bar though, probably the size of like Tremont.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So we get there. And there is a line around the back of the fucking building.
Of the block? The whole block?
The block. It curved around the block. And I go, what the fuck? So we get in line. I go,
one in, one out. How are you even going to get in?
So
ever?
we were
People will watch the whole show.
So they didn't let anybody in until the moment. So then the line started moving. I was like, okay, we're moving. I was like, there's no way we're getting in. This is too small of a club. There's no way. People behind us were like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
But I stood there and we stood and we kept going and we kept going. And we were kind of drunk at this point and high.
Yeah,
so I was so we were talking to the people in the front.
Yeah,
I was
like
making friends.
You're going to have fun either way.
So we get to the very front and we don't get in. Like we don't get it. We're like six people back. But so everybody was like, so I would walk up and I could see because I'm tall. So I like report back to them.
Oh, I like that. That's
so
fun.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too cold out?
Oh, it's freezing. But it was like something about it was fun in New York. Like
right, it is New York.
We're talking to these like there were some young girls in front of us who were laughing really hard and just like it was just
I
fun.
like that.
So I want to make a comment that like even though we didn't get in, like it was fun. And we went in after and it was a cute little bar, but like it would have been cool to see it.
Do you know
like,
why it was cool, Bobby? It's actually something you're doing because you have to live life. Here's how you go with the flow. You just don't have any expectations.
True.
You don't have to freak out that
I'm not gonna get in.
our plans aren't working out. It's like it's not that they're not working out. It's just different plans than what you expected.
It's different.
Don't worry about that. Don't have expectations. Just go.
That's the thing.
You just make the general frame of tonight. We're trying to have fun by doing this.
That's kind of what we're doing about Ireland. We're like,
we're gonna have fun no matter what.
Who the fuck knows? We could take a fucking train to Berlin or not Berlin. What's it called? Belfast, but I don't like.
We could go up there, yeah.
We could, we could be like one day we could be like, let's just get up early, get the first train.
Literally,
up there, go there, spend the day, and then take the train back.
That'd be cool because then you're in the United Kingdom,
right? So it's different.
Me, a British boy.
Take me to the Isle of Man.
Oh,
okay. So
thank you for that comment.
Yeah. So let's just do sundries.
Sundries.
But my sundry is going to be my existential crisis that I had. And I wrote it really high. So, you know, when you're like, I don't know if you deal with this when you're like kind of drunk or whatever, but like when I'm really high and drunk or like really high, I can't write very clear. Like I have something I'm trying to say, but it's not clear. So I just wrote this.
That's like when I'm tired.
Yeah. So
I'm like,
imagine you're falling asleep and writing something. That's how it
Yeah.
feels when I'm high and I'm having an existential crisis.
oh no.
So I'm going to read it as is. It might not make sense.
Okay.
Oh my God. Being high this week made me think so deep and existential. Like I panicked because I could have 60 years left or 26 years or 6 months to live. And it's so scary. It makes me want to literally be homeless and just have an RV and live in cool places and make side cash, maybe even being a beefy dad prostitute. So
That's a lot.
there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack.
Beefy dad prostitute.
I'm
Okay.
thinking to myself, you know, we look at people all the time. And we're like, oh, their life sucks. They're like on the side of the road begging. Maybe it doesn't suck. I know. Maybe it's actually not bad at all. Maybe it just looks like it sucks because maybe you're a little bit dirty. But like, if I had to be a whore just to live a good life, like I will. That's kind of what I was saying. And like, I'm sitting there like,
And now you're doing it for a bad life.
But I go to work every day.
I'm not actually a fan.
We go to work every day. We have to do this shit.
Turn
every
over a new
day.
leaf.
And what if I did stuff that I wanted to do and I didn't
Yeah.
have these lights? Maybe I don't have the lights in the computer and play Flight Simulator, but
Okay.
I have this room to sleep in. But like, why do I have to
I know.
have all this?
We don't.
And that's why I have to work. If I didn't need this, I wouldn't work. You could just live. Like you could be a prostitute, make half of the money you're making.
You just need to make enough for food and lodging, really.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, some clothes.
Yeah, especially when you lose weight, because now I've spent
And don't
so
forget
much money on that.
skincare. And then,
But that's what I'm saying. So
I know,
it goes on.
it
and on.
really adds up.
But my existential moment was like, but I could literally be working my ass off, saving for retirement, having my 401k, blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah. And then
Literally,
what?
In
And
6
then
months
what?
from now, I could be gone.
no, you could find out you have cancer later this year.
Correct.
And it's like, yeah, you've got
Correct.
9 months to live. That's the average. It's like, okay, so how
does
many
that
more New
mean?
York trips can we fit in?
Right? Like, what does that mean?
Right.
Like, so that's what makes me really freaked out, and that's what's making me like.
But then your 401k, like, why didn't you use it?
That's what I'm driving towards, though.
So you have to have balance. Yeah.
I'm driving towards. We're gonna do this shit now. We're gonna do all
Right.
these trips. You're going nuts right now, but
I'm going a
actually-
little too insane.
I don't think you are because
Well, Amsterdam is paid for. So it's like, if I can take a week off and go, like I booked the flight with points and then I'm staying with Sabrine's friend.
Right,
The
so-
whole week.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay at all for a hotel. Like this trip was free, basically.
Basically.
Points, free lodging. I'm going to pay for food and like
But that's
yeah.
basic. You'd pay for that here.
I know.
it's
Actually,
like-
yeah, because
right.
I didn't even think of
You're
that.
just me living.
I get Uber Eats. Yeah, it's just yeah.
Yep. Period.
Girl, you're right.
Girl.
So exist in the moment is your
So
sundry.
exist in the moment is my sundry. Like, stop fucking saving. What do people say? Save
Stop
for a
putting into
rainy day.
retirement.
There is no rainy day. The
Yeah,
rainy day
stop
is
putting
now.
off living because it's now.
It's pouring.
I
And-
realized that in Spain. I was like, I'm so glad I'm here.
Yeah, like
I was like, because some of this is on a credit card still,
Right.
So it's definitely
Sometimes you have to put
beyond
on-
your means,
Right.
But it's not really beyond your means because you will pay it off eventually.
Maybe.
It's just like,
that's where I'm at.
but
I don't give a
also like
fuck.
if everything crashes, doesn't
yeah,
matter.
like what does it matter right now? Like we literally had a president say you're going to tell somebody else
Yeah.
they're going to start World War III. Like out of his mouth.
that was
you don't
really
say that out
bad.
loud,
That was-
honey. You
I was
don't
like,
say it out loud.
Oh, so he wants that. Okay.
So that's where we're at, and I'm just like, that's why when we go to Ireland again, like I said, it's going to
Live
be
it
fucking
up.
balls to the wall,
no, we will.
American balls to the wall.
Okay,
Irish twinks,
Irish twinks. Okay,
sundry.
my sundry.
Scroll through your list of complaints.
I know because I have some.
I don't even know what else. I think I have more written, but I'll keep.
No, you don't need any more.
I know.
You did your sundry.
No. Oh, I did right. My Friday night equals high scrolling on Ancestry.com. That's what I did this Friday. I was so high. I was like,
I love that.
trying to find fucking relatives. Like, I'm gonna be a citizen.
Oh my god! Yeah, I got to get out of here. Okay, this is good. I have a question for my sundry. It's a little
I
topic
love
of discussion.
I love it.
And I've really thought about this, and I'm like kind of concerned.
Oh no.
How should we be feeling about using Twitter or X for porn? Because I feel like we have got to consider this.
How does it feel to drive a Tesla? You know what I mean?
Right? Like if you had a fucking Tesla right now, how embarrassing.
I think if you had a Tesla, you kind of actually I saw a Tesla that said, like
just
I
drive
got
it
this
off.
before he was a douchebag.
Yeah, like you have to say that. It's just so bad.
It's so bad right now. What was your question again? Well, I started talking about I started thinking about fucking Tesla, and then I was like, off.
You're like Tesla.
Well, then I thought, oh god, he just said he wanted to leave the UN and all this
Yeah,
shit. And then,
like,
that's
it's
what
like-
it's like. That's how my brain works. So once I start going on, I can't stop. So
It's
bring me
out of
back.
control. Okay, so basically, the reason I'm asking this question is I was shamed for using Twitter for porn.
Okay.
Like, well, you're still on there. That's what Matt said to me.
Yep.
You're
still on there. Like, that's Matt's
You can just
voice.
fucking hear him.
Oh, I can. Well, you're
I was like, do you think first of all, here's my answer, because like, I get it. And it is becoming a right-wing nutjob platform, but it's like, is the propaganda getting to me if I'm looking at porn? Like, how am I getting propagandized to from the type of porn I'm looking at?
I will say,
because it's gay too. It's not even like misogynistic or anything.
I do see a lot more random stuff popping up.
That's clearly Nazi.
Propaganda.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah.
Like,
No. I've seen like things where they're acting like historical things, that definitely happened, didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm reading them and I'm like, wait, well, they think that's
really
who took
scary.
over. But anyways, so that's like, those are the tweets, but I'm not reading those or looking at them.
So have you tried Blue Sky?
Yes, I've started to.
So they have porn on there. It's just not it's not the same kind of backlog.
Right. It's not as much.
You can get to the bottom. I actually did that on one of the things. You're like, I was like, oh, this is the first post. Okay. Well, we went through that
it's
real
like
quick.
Done.
And that's also part of the addiction. That's also part
finding
of
the best, finding the new, finding the better thing.
Everything next.
Got to be the best.
Interesting. I wouldn't shame you. I wouldn't shame you.
Well, also I was like, he's not getting profit out of this Twitter or X. Like, I think it's losing money. But does he even care?
And on Tesla.
Think of what he bought it for.
Listen,
like, why would he care?
Dave
why would
Portnoy, who is the Barstool guy, I feel like he's a Trumper, whatever.
He's absolutely.
But he's yelling at Elon Musk saying, your stock is down. Where are you? Why are you not? You need to send me an email.
Tesla's
saying,
down. Like all this
stuff. You work
stuff.
for me, bitch. I'm a shareholder. Why are you not? What are you doing during the week? Because remember he said he wanted to send people. He sent people in the government. Like, what do you do?
Oh yeah, you have to send a bullet point email every week saying what you did.
Okay, here's
why. Who's reading them? Right. Who's going to read 7 million? I mean, it's like millions of employees of the federal government.
But they make it seem like
you're going to read 20. The email. Yeah, they make it sound like there's like not. No, there's millions.
There's millions.
Right. It's like no. So that's my sundry. Is I don't know if we should be shamed or not.
I don't know.
I can see it both ways, so I don't really care.
Well, I don't care either. At this point,
I'm not directly giving him money. I guess the ads that I might scroll by give him money because someone saw him. But
I don't really think he's getting money from Twitter. I really think he's losing.
Right. When you have 452 billion, like even if you spent 45 billion on Twitter, it doesn't matter how it does because it's like you still have so much. Oh my God. It doesn't fucking matter.
He's so rich.
Right.
Like when you can take $42 billion and it's like a drop in the pan. Like not necessarily a drop in the pan, but like you could buy a fucking
but you don't have to worry about
like
it.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Change its name and ruin it.
Well, ruin it or did it work? Because like that's how they got the far right propaganda out the past 2 years to get Trump elected again.
So could that be like? Can we like sue him for puppy?
Probably not. And that's been another episode of Not Well. I'm Jim.
And I'm Bobby. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you call us 614-721-5336. I didn't check the messages, so there might be 4 there, or there might be 0, like normal.
Most likely 0.
0, probably 0 is the fact.
Because you guys don't call.
When you go to Amsterdam, because we got to start planning.
March 18th.
Okay. So, we got some time to have some episodes.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll get more.
And then, so.
And then it's only a month after that. We go to.
I know.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my fucking God.
Oh, my God. So you're going to work, and then you're going to go back on.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I work another like 2 weeks and then I'm gone. And then I come back for like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks we go. That's what I'm saying though. Like when you do this, you realize how stupid the in-between the work moments are.
Right.
I'm literally like, I've been and I'm like, well, I mean, it's not like I'm not doing my job. It's just that I don't really care.
I'm going to do my job well.
Yep. And then
I'm going to be the best.
And then I'm going to leave.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, what are we going to fucking do? What am I going to do? I'm going to go home. I don't care about the overall because obviously you don't care about me when I'm making you millions and you're giving me a $20 gift card at Thanksgiving to buy a fucking turkey.
Right.
Thank you. Everybody, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, and if you're from Ireland, message us.
Oh, please.
We're trying to manifest like really hot brothers. Oh my God, what if we